Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Did you miss a show? Download the podcast now.
Hey, it's Alayna J. Are you a boomer? Well, if so, I've got some bad news for you. Things you think are cool are just not cool. JJ, our resident boomer, will break that list down for you. Plus, Kat was recently on a flight where a woman cried. Why was she crying? And I just got back from a trip to Seattle where my fiancé and I came home with a weird souvenir. All of this plus so much more is coming up in the Playhouse Podcast, which starts now.
Being the senior member of the Playhouse, can we please set the mood here?
I think we're all about 10 years apart.
Thank you. We do cover a wide span. And then I ran across this and I said, whew, I feel like I'm a little cooler than some of this, but then the other stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyways, it's a list of things that boomers think are cool, but aren't. So I want you guys to reserve your thoughts and see if any of these match this list, all right? Okay. The number one thing that boomers think, and I think of my parents when I saw a lot of this stuff. I don't think of me.
Okay.
Writing in cursive.
Oh, I love that.
Really?
Yes. I love getting snail mail from my grandma Ellie.
Outdated.
And she will send me birthday cards, and I can't quite read it, but I know it's really nice, but it's just like the sentiment. I love it.
Alayna, is there a human that writes in cursive other than your mom or your dad?
I write in cursive.
You do?
I love that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's because I got made fun of for my chicken scratch back in the day, and so I just...
You were the one girl that didn't have great handwriting.
Yep.
Every other girl practices it. Mm-hmm. The other thing that a lot of boomers think is cool but isn't, china plates.
Oh, yeah.
Like the stuff that gets handed down from your grandparents. So when my mom passed away, she had tons of these things hanging on the wall. And my sister's probably listening, but I'm like, I know it means more to you than it does to me because it meant nothing to me. Yeah. I mean, it just didn't. Those old plates.
Now they're all in our break room. The ones with the green
they are. Those
design
are
around them.
Somebody bought them at a garage sale. They're from 1970 something, and they're in our break room. News on TV. Boomers still believe it's a thing and it's cool, but it's just not.
I enjoy watching the news.
Really, Alayna, when was the last time you watched the news on TV?
Well, we watched it this past weekend just because there was a TV in front of us and we were worried about the air quality in Seattle. But other than that, I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? When I'm out of town, I watch the news and really I'm thankful for what we have here. And the presentation that we have here is high quality. And then you go to Arizona and they're wearing like I Love Tacos tank tops. And I'm just like, it's a different
Are they hotter though?
No. We got some hot ones.
Some of the other things that boomers think are really cool but aren't. Unpaid internships. Like, that's not a thing anymore.
No.
Like, anybody who believes in working a 40-hour week in a suit behind a desk thinks, well, you got to earn your keep. You got to work for free for a year. That's just not a thing anymore.
I don't know. I think it builds character. It doesn't have to be every single day. Enough to.
We've had some very successful interns here, but it's just nobody wants to work for free anymore. Yeah. Amazon, Google, businesses like that really ruined it for everybody. The other thing, and Kat, cover your ears.
No.
But this is your mother exactly.
Oh.
Crocs made the list.
Oh, yes.
Boomers think Crocs are okay, but they're clearly not.
I know a lot of people Alayna's age that wear Crocs, so it's not
Alayna,
my thing.
Are Crocs okay?
No.
No, they're not.
Unless you're at the lake, then that might be okay. But if you're going out in public, no, never.
Home shopping channels made the list as well.
Yeah. Never got into those.
Boomers think it's okay to watch TV and maybe buy a knife when you have insomnia, or buy those those chinos off TV.
I need another duster sweater.
Not a good idea. And the last one I wanted to bring up because, Kat, I know you don't consider yourself a boomer, but you are, girl.
Okay.
Making the list of things boomers think are cool, but are not anymore.
Do not say recumbent bike.
Well, that's not cool for any
that.
generation. That's not cool for any generation.
All right.
Writing checks. Look at she brings her guys. What she does?
Are you doing your bills like it's impacting his life in one way or another? Are you writing bills? Yes, I'm writing bills. I'm paying my bills.
Alayna, when was the last time you paid by check for anything?
For our parking pass.
Oh,
that's it. Everything else is online.
You can pay that by credit card now too.
Oh, don't they charge a fee?
No, I don't think so.
I thought they charged like a 3%.
I think they did at first,
so
and now
why I don't do it.
And then I complained heavily, and now I think it's the JJ rule now.
Yeah.
Oh.
But writing checks is uncool, Kat.
Every single time I get down to my last book of checks, I'm like, I could probably switch to online. Nope. And then I call and then I reorder my next pack of checks.
This was a Denzel Washington movie and I was Denzel Washington and I had to go back home and within an hour find a checkbook to save my family's life, I would just start planning their funerals. I have zero idea where any checks are. If it meant saving my life, I couldn't tell you.
Oh, yeah.
So here's what I want. Add to the list. What did we miss? Ira, add to this list. What else is like a boomer thing that's just not cool?
I saw the Fanny Pack, but that's kind of 90s.
The fanny. So hold on, Alayna, chime in on this. The Fanny Pack, cool or not cool?
They're cool. They're back in style.
They're back in style now. So Ira, we're just stupid boomers. Right.
I just remembered how old I am.
Just when you thought you were cool again, now you realize you're not, and that you have no idea what is cool anymore.
I have no idea. I'm 40.
I'm really confused too, man.
Sound like you're mailing it in.
Yeah,
you're only 40.
You're better than that, Ira.
Huh?
You're better than that. All right. And all right. We're gonna sign you up for the Miracle Ear program here in the Playhouse, and I'm gonna just yep. Okay, look at he's all for it. He's like, yep. Help me out a little bit. Hey, Ashley, were you the one that texted in about the handkerchiefs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who has a handkerchief in your life?
My dad. He still has one of those bandana-looking handkerchiefs. Oh, it's so gross.
And you never know when it was washed. Does he wash it, or is it like one of those skillet situations where it just like betters throughout time and use?
No, he actually gets a new one every day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, does your dad have a lot of, I don't know, problems with his, breathing or nasal? Like, how often do you blow? I blow my nose probably once a day. You know what I mean? And it's usually like right when I'm starting my workout, I'll kind of all the juices get flowing, and I need to blow my nose so I can have good breathing. Does your dad have a lot of issues that he's needing to use that handkerchief a lot during the day?
Yeah, he does. So
Okay.
he does use it a lot, but yeah, he gets a new one every day. But I still make fun of him about it,
Yeah, I think it's kind of cute. As long as he doesn't offer it up to somebody else.
So old people will do this. I remember having old people in my life, like my grandmother or grandfather's age.
Yeah.
If you blew your nose, they'd offer it to you. They'd be like, no, I don't want your snot rag.
Yeah, I remember my grandma used to shove like old Kleenexes up her sleeve.
Yep.
And then she'd be like, "Here, wipe your nose."
My grandma Katie would do that all the time. She'd have a rubber band, and there would always be Kleenex in there, maybe 3 or 4 different Kleenex, and then she'd just whip it out for you. It's crazy.
The Kleenex.
The Kleenex, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Thanks, Ashley. Have a great rest of the day.
Weird news.
All right, weird is listening to a horse give you love advice. And this woman, Caroline McCain of London, believes her horse Fred told her where to meet her soulmate. So she called a horse whisperer because Fred was injured. The whisperer claims that he was trying to let her know that she would meet a guy who had a scar on his leg. She ends up going on this dating website, meets this guy named Devin that had a scar on his leg, which could have just been coincidence.
The equine, is there nothing they can't do?
I don't think so.
That's going to leave a mark. That's going to leave a mark.
Oh, that one hurts.
That one hurts. Oh, that hurts. Oh, wow.
That does leave a mark.
Oh.
Headed to Massachusetts, where Tom Grassotti, recovering from shooting himself in the groin after a powder cannon went off.
Oh my gosh, he's what's his name on 8 Mile?
Yeah,
MC Bob. It's a
Bunny
no. What does he go by?
shooter. What is it?
But he ends up being MC
Cheddar.
Bob. Cheddar Bob. That's
Cheddar Bob.
it. Cheddar Bob.
Anyway, he and his wife, they were doing a gender reveal in their backyard, and he accidentally pointed the cannon at his crotch rather than the sky. So I think it's safe to say probably the last gender reveal, because I think things are ruined downstairs. And that is what's weird.
Question of the day is, what brand name are you stuck on? I don't know if you've noticed, but Canadian residents will no longer be receiving the big ragu.
Oh, we're about to see a shift from those nice Canadians. Now they're going to be just like us.
Ragu pasta sauce will no longer be shipping north of the American border.
Okay.
I don't know too many Canadians that are going to be wigged out about this, but it happened. People started getting mad about it already. So is there a particular brand name that you're like addicted to, Kat?
Well, I wouldn't say addicted, but it's my preferred choice when I'm shopping at Walmart. But anything Equate brand, it literally is like the exact same thing. So pads, cotton balls,
You use
face wipes,
anything feminine hygiene, you'll do generic, huh?
Sometimes yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes it really doesn't matter to me.
Alayna, is there a brand name you can't do without?
Sweet Baby Ray's. Oh, that barbecue sauce is so good.
Do you use it when you grill or just dipping?
Just everything.
Really?
Grilling when you're dipping. Yeah, I use it with my potato chips.
You ever find
my chicken
yourself
strips?
up midnight and then you go to the pantry and just do that line down your tongue?
Yep. I know.
Whoa, you will stop this. You will actually go to the pantry and take a pull off a jug of barbecue sauce? Both of you will do this?
Why not, man?
That's some antisocial behavior.
That jelly. A little bit of ranch.
You will
Depends on the night.
You will take a pull off a ranch bottle in the middle of the night?
She does not.
Are you just saying this to make her feel better?
your chain.
No, I believe you do it, Kat. Alayna, I would think you have more discipline. I have way more respect for you. Claudia, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great. There's a brand name you can't live without. What's yours?
Bic razors.
Oh,
Bic
are you as
razor.
hairy as our friend Kat here, and you go through dozens and dozens, or are you just doing maintenance?
If they continue those razors, I might.
So are you talking about the orange handle? Like, I feel those
The
are...
Soleo brand.
Oh, you
I
get
just
into the really
bought,
lady type, don't you?
Soleil.
I literally just bought, no, not really. I have 4 boys, so.
Yeah. See, I use my husband's razor. Men's razors are amazing. I use those.
If my husband goes and gets me razors and it's not the Soleo, he has to
Soleil.
go back to himself.
Okay.
So, for me,
I just bought a huge Sam's Club online,
Yeah.
a whole bulk supply.
Oh, good.
Can't go without it.
there you go. All right. Well, hey, thanks for checking in. I hope they never stop
Yeah.
making your Bic razors because we
Right?
need more real trim ladies like yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, I bet. What was she saying wrong?
She was saying Soleil, like Soleil Moon Fry. It's Soleil. Soleil.
That's a lady brand, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not just like a man's
Bic
Bic razor?
Soleil razor.
For me, by the way, I told you guys, the one thing I literally will freak out about if I don't have, and Kat is often having this in her mouth, Crest toothpaste.
Oh, yeah.
I won't. My wife has bought Colgate, won't do it. She's bought the other types, the Equate types or the generic. I just won't.
I don't chintz on toothpaste. I do the whitening, and then I have and I have to have paste. I can't have gel. Gel just messes me up.
It's
I don't
the
like
Crest whitening toothpaste.
Right.
Can't have it. And my kids will my wife will be like, oh, but these two were together and you got a free toothbrush. I don't care.
Yeah.
When it comes to matters of the mouth, I don't care.
I'm with you.
I just won't do it. On a Mount Rushmore Monday, let's just say we went to Mount Rushmore, we sanded down all the faces. But today, we're going to go back after the show. We're going to replace them with faces of people in Hollywood that would have been on airplanes like Kat and Alayna were yesterday.
All right, so mine was Denzel Washington and Flight, which is a great movie. People are texting in Con Air's Nick Cage, Leo DiCaprio and Aviator was a good one.
Well, Holly, you were on the Nick Cage tip here, too. You want Nicolas Cage on Mount Rushmore?
Oh, definitely.
Sure about that?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
He's one of those Hollywood people that are weird. They are exactly who you would expect if you met an actor, right?
Hey, who else?
He's so eccentric.
Exactly.
Who else was a really good actor in that movie? So it was Ving Rhames was in there, right?
Yeah.
So was Steve Buscemi,
Okay.
right? Because he was that really weird killer that didn't end up killing the little girl, right?
I don't remember that movie very well. I know it's on TBS every weekend. I just don't remember.
Good call, Holly. Oh,
He was playing with a Barbie doll.
Yeah, right. Like, so he was the one, like the weirdest killer, and then you fully expected him to kill that little girl when they were playing outside, and then the show ends or somehow where he doesn't kill her, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, they're
good
by
call.
that empty pool. That's what
Right.
I remember. All right.
Good stuff, Holly. Thanks for being on the show.
Not a problem.
Take care. Oh, hey, Heather, I can't believe we didn't think about this one. Who would you put on the Mount Rushmore?
Tom Hanks from Castaway.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. But then also Sully. He was Sully.
Oh, you're
in
right.
the
he
other
did
airplane
Sully.
movie.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tom Hanks double feature. Thanks, Heather.
You're welcome.
Take
Have a
care.
great day.
Yeah, you too. Mallory, which is the movie that Jodie Foster is in?
She's in Flight Plan.
Flight Plan. Why didn't I see that? Because it was a Jodie Foster movie.
She's a great actress. What are you talking about? Flight Plan. I got to go.
How old is this?
It's, oh gosh, I don't know, like maybe 5 years old or so.
Yes, I remember this movie. This was a good one, too.
Good.
Hey, you know that they don't show these movies on in-flight, services and stuff like that?
People get panicked.
Any movies where people look like they're in peril on an airplane, they won't show them. I was flying Delta, so then you get the free range of episodes.
You get all
and stuff.
sorts of movies.
So, Alayna, have you ever seen Shrill with 80 whatever from SNL?
No.
Okay, so I turn on the first episode. Don't even know what to expect. Never seen this show. And she ends up in the woods with her boyfriend. And you know who 80 is from SNL? She's like that bigger girl. She's laying there and they wake up in the woods. And her boyfriend's like, hey, can I help you out a little bit? And she's like, well, no, I haven't showered in like 2 days. And he's like, come on, it'll really make me happy. So then he starts, doing stuff to her. I look behind me. There's a 6th grader watching. I quick throw my blanket over the screen, and then I had to find another show. It was bad.
Mallory, I appreciate you being on the show. Who we missing here? It's a Mount Rushmore Monday, so we know that we're going to add Jodie Foster. We're going to add Nicolas Cage. We're going to add Tom Hanks.
Tom Cruise, Top Gun, obviously.
Oh,
Pilot Pete.
why didn't we know that?
That's not a show.
No, Pete from...
The Bachelor. That's what they said.
I thought it was from Top Gun, too, because isn't it Pete Mitchell then?
Rachel McAdams. Have you ever seen Red Eye? That is a good one.
Oh, the movie?
That makes you question who you're sitting next to. Because they're bad.
What happened on the airplane?
All right, so I board. My flight there was very, very rocky. A lot of turbulence over Colorado. And I'm not good with motion sickness, so I threw up on my way there.
It's so bad that Kat has to drive everywhere she goes. She can't ride anywhere.
It really is a hindrance. And so I checked because on my way there wasn't a barf bag in my compartment there. So I had to search real quick before I blew chunks. And then so I sit down and I look into the pouch. I'm like, okay, good. I got a barf bag. She goes, motion sickness? I said, yeah. So the girl sitting to my left.
This is on your return flight.
Yeah. She goes, well, do you want some Dramamine? I'm like, sure.
I think one of the things that we need to really express, especially to our younger listeners, is to not take drugs from strangers.
So after I put it in my body, I was like, I don't even know this girl. And I
could have
didn't
been a
even look
roofie.
at the package. She just popped it into my hand and I was out. So first I asked, is this non-drowsy? She goes, I think you'll get a little bit sleepy. I was out. But there were 2 babies under the age of 1.5 years across the aisle from us, okay? Oof. The woman next to me was in her mid-40s, and she kept doing the hi.
Oh, to the babies. Got it. Not to you.
And yeah, and being really nice to these babies. And then we land, and she starts to shake a little bit, and then she starts to cry and says, that was her first flight. The flight home was amazing. No turbulence, nothing. Great landing.
She's 40 years old and she was on her first flight.
I clapped. You know how I clap at the end of every flight?
Yeah, that makes me go bananas.
I was like, yes, good landing. But she starts crying, and the girl next to me, she's like, are you okay? She goes, I just don't understand why there aren't rules and regulations and guidelines in place where babies have to wear masks, because my friend is supposed to sit right in front of me and she has to sit way in the back because she has diabetes, and these babies didn't have any face masks on. I'm like, well, they can't even keep the nooks in their mouth.
Yeah, what do you do
and
there?
she starts crying. So, of course, I Snapchat it.
So she was crying at the end of the flight, not during or in the beginning or anything like that?
She was so great.
So
She was like a fun lady throughout the flight, and then all of a sudden something hit her where she's just had a panic attack a little bit, where maybe she thought she caught something from one of these babies. But so I sent a little Snapchat video of my feet, but I was recording, and Alayna heard it. You heard her.
Yeah, she was crying so hard. She was what in the world? Shaky.
And then I sent it to Derek, and I was just like, this woman is freaking out. And I didn't mean to highlight her anxiety attack, but it was a weird switcheroo. But I think it stems from her never flying before. That was her first flight ever. And I've flown many times.
Yeah,
so
I think most people have. But there are some. We worked. There was a girl here that hadn't left probably a 20 square mile radius until she was in her 20s.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right?
She had never left the area. Now, I'm not talking the state, the country, the province, the hemisphere. I'm talking she hadn't left a 25 square mile area.
Her first big trip was a family trip to Branson.
Yeah.
And
and she was waking out about driving there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to know, have you never flown Or do you know somebody that has never gotten on a plane? My friend Sarah, her husband will never fly again. They were on their way to Florida and they dropped like thousands of feet in just seconds. And then the plane kind of gained.
Caught itself.
Yeah. But she goes, you'll never get Jason back on a plane. Ever.
There are some people that just won't fly, period.
Yeah.
I mean, you just will not fly. Who is the football coach? John Madden. John Madden. So what's named? So John Madden, legendary football coach, would never fly. He would only he had this giant bus made for him, like a rapper's tour bus.
Yeah.
He was the original baller and would take this, and he was doing football broadcasts every Sunday. And you know how these teams move all around.
Sure.
He would take this all around the country because he would not fly.
Did something happen to him?
I don't know. There's probably something bad. I mean, there's got to be a click psychologically that says I'm not going to fly, because 99% of people will get on a plane if they have enough money and they've got a schedule, right?
So have you never flown? Do you know somebody that has never taken a flight? Or in, I guess, maybe John Madden's case, we don't know if something happened, but were you just jaded and you'll never get on a plane again?
Now, I want those stories. Plus, I've got this guy named Jace on the line who actually crashed his own airplane.
There it is.
Tell everybody what's going on, because you have your own plane and everything, right?
I fly a small aircraft just for recreational use.
Okay.
And crashed it, and I did not have my seatbelt on, and the plane violently thrashed. But because I didn't have my seatbelt on, I was held in centrifugal force,
right?
And walked out without a scratch on me. This was a few years ago.
See,
so lucky.
This is thank you for the call, by the way. This is one of the reasons that people, just because planes do crash. Now, again, I don't know if I remember from the quote from Dumb and Dumber where he says you're more likely to get killed in a car accident on the way to the airport.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it was hilarious because
I think statistically it's true. They wouldn't just like grab that out of nowhere. But
it's a comedy. They would.
I went to visit a friend who is a pilot that flies those small planes, and I came up with every excuse in the book not to go up there, because I'm like, I can't picture myself going like that.
I think fewer things, and by the way, they can glide. If a smaller plane loses engine, they can glide a long ways.
I don't want to find that out.
If a 737 loses power, it just drops like a rock.
This text says, I'm 28. I've never been on a plane. I'm not scared of heights, but I just can't get over the fact that someone else is in control of if I live or if I die.
So, weirdest thing you ever brought home on a vacation?
I would just say our starfish Christmas ornament, because it was once alive and now it just puts off this smell every single holiday season. Take it out of the shoebox. It's like, it's ya.
Alayna's grabbing calls right now, but she had told us that she was in Seattle over the weekend and brought home a giant chunk of driftwood, and she actually had to hold it on her lap like a baby on the plane. Yeah. And I guess her fiance is going to paint on it and make it all pretty. I got to be honest with you. I love my wife and my family, but if we go anywhere and they're like, Dad, hold this piece of driftwood on the flight back. No. That's accidentally going to get left in the bathroom at the airport.
I couldn't believe how many people held on to a 1.5-year-old for a 3-hour flight yesterday.
Yeah, that happens.
That's crazy.
How's Ashley doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What'd you bring home from vacation that we'd look at and go, oh, Ashley lost her marbles?
I brought back a glass dish shaped like a hot dog.
Yeah, makes sense.
A glass dish shaped like a hot dog. And what was the symbolic reason? Why'd you buy it? Just because it was funny?
I didn't necessarily buy it. I went to Wisconsin Dells like 12 or 13 years ago with my dad for New Year's. And they had like a little art as you like it store inside there.
Yeah.
At the resort. And so like with each room you get like a certificate to go make something there. And that was something that you could make.
You made a glass dish shaped like a hot dog.
You went to the Wilderness, didn't you?
No, I went to the Kalahari.
Oh, okay. They had that at the Wilderness, too, when we were there.
You still got it, Ashley?
Yeah, I do. I have it in my living room.
It's out for people to see?
Okay.
I actually have it displayed because my dad was with me when I made it, and he passed away 2 years ago.
Oh, you made me look. Yeah, you got to lead with that. You made me look like a real jerk right there. Thanks, Ashley. Well, sorry about your dad, but happy about your wiener dish.
Maybe send us a picture. Send us a wiener picture
of your dish, of your glass dish. Thank you.
Your dish pic.
Thanks, Ashley. She just bounced. Yeah. That was it. It was the dad thing. See, you got to lead. Listen, I love everyone. I really do. But if you're going to call in any part of your story has to do with a dead relative or somebody catching a disease, an incurable situation, you gotta lead with that. You just have to.
Yeah.
And if you're a redhead, you got to lead with that too, because odds are we're probably going to make fun of you.
Yeah,
at least Kat will. Madison, what's good? How you feeling?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Finally, a story I can get into it. What'd you bring home?
It was an ashtray where the middle of it's got these engorged balls for boobies, and it holds the cigarette.
So right in between the nurples, you can just put your stogie right there, and it holds it.
Yeah, we
That's
went
funny.
to Atlantic City, and they had them in like this 99-cent souvenir store, and we're like, dude, we're running out of money. We need to get some PLAYHOUSE souvenirs. And we saw it, and we're like, this is perfect for your dad.
So you got an ashtray with the boobies.
Yes.
Yeah, now don't smoke, kids, but I endorse the ashtray with boobies
Put
movement.
some pennies in there.
Yeah, this is just the day's spare change.
Yeah. Very funny.
Good stuff. Thanks, Madison. I appreciate you being
We'll
on the
take a
show.
movie pick, too.
Yeah, you can send us
with the dish pick, the movie pick.
Alayna, good luck sorting through these in the next couple of minutes. Haley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What was the weird souvenir that you brought home?
Well, you said to start off with the fact that you're a redhead, and I am.
Okay, thanks for leading with that. We appreciate that.
Yeah. My parents, about 10 years ago, we went to Malibu, and they had drank about an entire bottle of a pre-made margarita mix.
Uh-huh.
And they decided, because they thought the sand was so nice, to take that empty bottle of margarita mix and fill it with sand.
A beach in a bottle.
Somehow, yep, beach in a bottle, and they still have it sitting in their living room.
That's cute. See, that means something. You know, they put the work in, but sometimes you can't take stuff. So were they nervous? Did TSA know that they were taking it?
Yeah, they had us pour a little out to make sure there wasn't anything
hiding inside. Okay.
Okay, but did they put all the sand back in then, right? And they got to take it home and they still have it?
Yeah, they just had to pour a little bit out. Honestly, I think Customs was afraid that the entire bottle would spill.
Sure. I got you. All right. Well, hey, good story. Thanks for, and especially thanks for leading with the redhead thing. We feel for you. By the way, I have an homage to redheads on my my Facebook page today, so if you want to check that out.
All right.
Have a great day, Haley. Appreciate it.
Oh, I wonder if she's like the murdery redhead or the pretty redhead.
They're all murdery redheads. They're pretty redheads with a murdery undertone.
Yeah. It's always like, there was always something about her.
And the best part...
That's how every Dateline starts. There was always something about her.
She was redheaded, and I didn't know what it was. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but she was
started
just...
with stealing beach
sand. Next thing you know, carving up bodies behind the drywall. There was a red substance leaking out from under the drywall, and Haley was there.
Download the podcast.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryant Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend. Immediately.
And hey, we have more podcast episodes available, so go check them out right now. Do it. Come on, do it. Seriously, do it.